Hello everyone, this is Sepi. This lesson is about painting acorns. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like my videos and hit the bell button to get notified whenever I release these instructional videos. Let's get started. I'm drawing my acorns with pencil on a 100% watercolor paper. The brand is Arches. I am going to darken the lines that I like with HB pencil. And then I'm going to use my 1-inch flat brush and wet the whole surface of the paper. I am starting by putting my Hansa yellow down first and then permanent rose and let them bleed onto my acorns and to my background. Then I move on to the lime green colors. I'm going to use olive green for that, and then dark colors like purple, ultramarine blue, and some green, viridian green for the back. This was my first layer. Now I'm going to let everything dry, and then I will go over my acorns for the second layer using more of the same colors like permanent rose, Hansa yellow, a little bit of golden browns like sepia and also raw sienna. And then I'm also going to go over some of the background areas while the paper is some area damp with some of the same colors like viridian green and alizarin red and purple with my brush. I'm going to dry this layer too, and then I am going to mix and make some darker colors of my acorns using those brown colors. For the very dark areas in the shadow, I'm using also a little bit of burnt umber. I'm mixing that with magenta, which is a pink purplish color, and I'm using my brush number 2 for those areas. It's good to wet your acorn before you put the colors down, and then put the pigments down with another brush and let it bleed onto your acorn. Now that I gave another layer to my acorns, I'm going to move on to the leaves and add some of the same green colors that I added for the first layers. For your warmer green and lighter green, you will use either sap green and yellow ochre or olive green. In between these stems, it's very dark, and for that I'm using ultramarine blue and purple, Winsor violet. So to work on the background, it's a good idea to wet some areas first with one brush, usually a bigger size brush, and then use a smaller size brush with pigments. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm using Cascade green, or you can use Viridian green and purple, and let it bleed, let the pigments bleed onto the wet areas. As you can see, I also tilt my board every off and on to help the pigments bleed into one another and give me a very free, abstract look to the background. Darkening around the leaves and starting to make up some of the shapes by drawing with my brush. Here I'm using some purple. Here I am using some of the mixtures of cool and warm green, Cascade or Viridian, and sap green. And I'm making up the branches or things that I can imagine as a background, although they are not very detailed and clear in the reference image. They are very blurry. Now I'm gonna work more on under the caps of the acorns, darkening them using some purple and adding more of the same colors. I also used some ink pen just to darken around the acorn and under the caps to give more definition to my acorns. And now my work is done. Thank you for watching.